I think maybe you need a vacation, need a break. Wow, maybe you're suffering from some burnout. Well, a lot of us struggle with that. We live in a very stressful society. I call it a society of anxiety, in which we have high expectations of ourselves and of others, and then others have high expectations of us. And so before long, we get caught up in a certain frenzy, even, in which we are overscheduled and overwhelmed. And I've been aware of this concept for a long time. I actually recorded a couple of sessions on the beach when I was aware that, wow, I need more of this in my life to offset these high expectations that I have at home. So to me, the beach became the antithesis of this society of anxiety that we live in. In another story, I have a friend who's a psychotherapist who years ago, when my kids were young, it came up in conversation that I was going to take the kids to Disney World, or was at least thinking about it. And I said, I don't take vacations very often. And he said, oh, Terry, we need to talk about that sometime. Well, we never had that conversation, but his reaction made me think maybe I ought to think more about the importance or the value of taking vacations. And for that matter, by extension, the importance of recreation. One of the tools that I use to manage my life is a pie chart. So if you could imagine taking a large piece of paper and drawing a large circle, as large as you can get it on that piece of paper, let's say it's printer paper, and then you draw 3 intersecting lines dividing that circle into 6 wedges, called a pie chart. And then you label each of those sections according to the 6 major areas of your life. And in my case, the 6 would be spiritual, physical, financial, family, recreation, and career. One of the reasons to use that tool is so you draw it out and you ask yourself, what am I doing in each of these areas? And what you're looking for is, am I in balance or am I out of balance? So for instance, you might see that your work life you got a lot going on there, and over here in this recreation area, there's not very much at all. So then you ask yourself, is that a problem? Well, in my 20s, I was first in medical school and then doing a neurosurgery residency, so that literally from the time I was 20 till the time I was 30, I was in a decade of medical training. And I remember as my neurosurgery residency was coming to an end and I could see the light at the end of the tunnel 6 months later, I thought, wow, what would it be like to be normal again? Well, that's an extreme example of all work and no play. The point is that most of us, in order for us to be happy, we need to have a balance going on in our lives, which includes recreation and even vacations. You can take it from there, I'm sure. The point that I'm making is I have to remind myself of the importance of adding that recreation into my life. I actually enjoy my work, and so a lot of my off time, I'm thinking about, could I do this, could I do that, planning this, planning that, developing new skills. Sounds really good until I realize, wait a minute, I need time away from that too, because I need the balance. And so, this morning, for instance, I had a friend who invited me over for coffee, and I hesitated, thinking, I don't know if I want to spend my Saturday morning doing that. But then I remembered, and this is a very good friend, and it is an important part of my life to to have the friendships and to enjoy that downtime. And so I did. You know, when we get together for coffee, I'm usually gone for 3 hours. But it was wonderful, and it was recreational, and it was a part of the balance of life. I like the idea of taking vacations. Vacations can cost money. There's the money you spend on the vacation, and then there's the money you might not be making during the time that you're off. All that has to be taken into account. So we go back to our pie chart, for instance, and we look at financial. Are there things that I need to be thinking about in the financial area of my life? Am I paying enough attention to that? And so I might think about my recreation in the context of my finances. Again, I'm looking for balance. So yes, I need to allot some money to take vacations or not. Maybe I take the vacation right here at home. I have done that. We call them staycations. Great idea. Because it achieves the purpose of restoring balance. Only this time you don't have to get up, if you take a staycation, you don't have to get up and go somewhere and spend a lot of money. Instead, you stay home and enjoy your home, which can be a great thing to do, particularly during certain times of the year. So, thank you for the opportunity to talk with you about the value of recreation and even vacations in your life, a life of balance.